Hey everyone, wanted to give you guys a quick update after the Lake Oroville tournament that I just fished. Not a good day for me and my partner, but quick update on Lake Oroville if you're planning on going out. This is Sunday, the tournament was yesterday. It was a beautiful day. I mean, gosh, it was sunny, pretty calm winds. The mornings are brisk. You know, when we did our blast off, it was cold. My toes went numb, my hands went numb, but as soon as the sun crested the hills, it was beautiful, beautiful out. Little breeze in the mornings. Like I said, the afternoon, if you got on the main body of water, there was a breeze, but you get back up in any of the creek channels, and there wasn't hardly any wind at all. You get in the coves, it was slick calm. We were around fish all day. Every single point. We stayed on the main body of water. We did not go up the North Fork really at all. We didn't go down the South Fork. We basically stayed on main points, fished down by the dam, and every single point we pulled up on, there was fish. We just couldn't get them to bite. We got one bite all day. It was a decent one. It was like a 2.6 something, if I remember correctly. But we were around them all day. We did find them in little creek channels. So anywhere that water was coming in, the channel that's submerged, you could find them in there. They were everywhere. You go out on the rock points, they were there. You go in the creek channels, they were there. Any of the real steep bluff type stuff, they were there. We threw everything. I've got a whole stack of rods behind me. I rigged up probably 8 or 10 different rods: jig, jerkbait, A rig, drop shot, Ned rig, neko rig. We had a spinner bait if we've got into moving water, just in case, anything like that. And we just didn't get bit. We got bit. The one fish we did get was on a football jig, but it had no trailer. We threw it, so it was a little bit smaller profile without that trailer. I downsized at one point, went to like a 1/2 ounce Kitech tungsten jig, football jig, with a little Great Lakes finesse craw on the back. Couldn't get it to any takers on that either. So I don't know what the deal was. As far as the tournament weights, first place was right around 15.5, so not terrible for Lake Oroville. Second place was just over 14, and then it quickly dropped to 8, and I think that was a 3 fish limit for 8 pounds. So the average fish was pretty good overall for the whole group. I think we had 11 boats. So the average fish was pretty decent. I think only 3 people had a limit. Everyone else was shy of a limit. But it sounded like they weren't just catching fish after fish and culling. They caught 5 fish, and that's what they got. The quality of fish was pretty good. Someone did have a largemouth on, lost it at the boat. It sounded like it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 or 5 pounds, so a pretty good largemouth way back up one of the creek channels. But other than that, it was rough. Like I said, we threw jerk baits. We went to the bridge pilings. I tried pinging a minnow here and there. No takers on that. They had an interest. You know, they would come and look at it. They would sniff it. But basically, I felt like I was at the ISC show on the tank, throwing baits out there and educating fish. They got a good education this weekend because I threw everything I had in the boat. I threw spy baits, jerk baits, A-rig, spinner baits, jigs, small jigs, neko, Neds, drop shots. I think at one point I even threw a blade bait on, tried that. I didn't try a spoon. I didn't go out super deep. Everything we saw was in that 15 to 35 foot range. There were some up shallower. If you threw right to the bank and drug it out, they would come chasing it right from the bank. But they would chase it and then swim away. So there was something different on my baits that they didn't like. But anyways, overall, that was Lake Oroville. Water temp is somewhere in the neighborhood. We saw some high 53 range, 53.8, somewhere in there. We might even have seen a 54. But there is a lot of floating debris out there, so be careful. If you're out running around, there's full-on trees in some of these areas, stumps where you only see a little bit, and there's an iceberg underneath that thing. So be careful running around, especially where the water inlets are coming in, right there by the bridge at the South Fork. The north end, we didn't go very far up north, so I can't speak to that area. Anywhere around the dam, obviously, there's floating debris everywhere because that's where the intake is, or the augers that pump everything out, and that's where the water flows. But it's everywhere, so be careful out there. Otherwise, try your luck. I didn't stay Sunday and try to fish anymore. I was a little frustrated at seeing so many fish and not being able to get them on the hook. But overall, it was fun. It's better than being at work, right? So got to hang out with my cousin. He was on the back of the boat. He's the one that caught the fish, thank God, or I'd probably come in with zero. But he caught that one dragging that jig around with no trailer, and it was just sitting. It wasn't moving it. It sat for like 30 seconds. I think he bent down to get a drink, pick his rod back up. He went to move it a little bit, and it felt different, so he set and made a 2.5 pounder on. So it was kind of weird for us. Everyone else, we did everything everybody else did. It sounded like A-rigs, jerk baits, drop shots, caught the fish. One guy on a crankbait. I did throw a crankbait as well. I got nothing. They chased it one time, but I couldn't get him to strike. Sounded like he caught a pretty good one, like a 4-pound spot on a crankbait. So a little bit of everything out there, but it wasn't working for us, but other guys did find them. So overall, it was still fun. Beautiful day, got a little bit of sun, got to get in shorts. Being from where I am, it's been cold and snowy, and so it was nice to get out in the sunlight. But other than that, that was Oroville for me. So hopefully you guys go out, you have better luck than I did, but still Lake Oroville, you never know. Thanks, guys.